Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Market hit 150. Now we're back at where we were, basically 146, just kind of hovering around. Like I said, new updates for Ethereum coming out. We don't know what's going to happen with Bitcoin. But either way, I'm optimistic because of the Lightning and all that good stuff. That's really what Bitcoin needs to become mainstream. And I know when I explain the market, I come on and when I get on my mic, I'm just talking to me basically. And it's funny because I don't realize that I can be kind of like some, you know, it's kind of like I'm Crocodile Dundee in the fucking jungle. And, you know, I'm bringing, you know, some new people tag along from our journey and then they freak out because they see a snake. And I'm like, what, mate? It's just a motherfucking snake. And I can see how it's like, well, fuck, you know, they're not used to seeing this kind of craziness. It's just, I'm going to give a little bit of advice just for, this could be for everybody. It doesn't matter. It's just a mindset that I use that's helped me on my journey so far, you know, take it or leave it, a grain of salt. But basically, I practice detachment all the time, every day. I give away money a lot. I give away time a lot. I like to be detached. So when you have that detachment, it means you don't have a fear of losing it, right? That doesn't mean being ludicrous, but it just gives you an idea of what I'm stepping into to get to my next point. If I'm buying a coin and it's peaking at the top, if I'm new, like when I first got in the game, I didn't, you know, I had my innate principles. That's what helped me. People, you know, they asked me like, well, fuck, how did you come up so quick? How do you know so much so quick? And it's kind of like, I prepared all my life for crypto, and yeah, that doesn't make sense, but it's just the principles that I instilled, meaning detachment, patience, a desire to win. All of these things helped me because I didn't panic sell. I knew, you know, I had the landscape. I played it very logically. And if you do that in any aspect in life where it offers you a fair advantage, just something fair where it's not like, you know, get into the stock market, you just get crushed by these guys who are insiders, then yeah, I mean, you have a really good shot. And it's not like, you know, people will give you all kinds of slogans, you know, buy the rumors, sell the news, all this, and, you know, buy on the dip, sell on the highs. Yeah, that's all rough math, rap, you know, that's fine. But, you know, when is the dip? When is the high? What is the rumor and what is news? That's when things start to get blurred. When rumors turn to news and highs turn to lows and lows turn to highs. We don't, you know, it's hard to just get in there. It's funny, that Crypto Daily video where he's like trying to time the market. And then that guy like jumped and hit the fucking water or the sand. First of all, you got to have a sense of humor. It's not so serious. It's not. I understand it's your money. You have to practice detachment in the fact that if something's peaking, if something's up, I understand the urge to want to get in. I understand the urge to want to get in. And there might be perfect reason to get in because it might just keep going up to the moon. But what I always like to do is I don't like to pay sticker price. So I'll always set a lure. And I'll be patient because if it's rising, I'm going to set a lure that, you know, if it started here and it's gone and it's, you know, up here and you really want in, instead of buying it right here, I'll set a lure about right here, right? And I'm patient. And if it never crashes or it never comes back down, and I set multiple lures. So I might set a little bit of lure here to get some skin in the game and then another little lure, like, you know, let's say you take 100% of your money, you put, you know, whatever you want, right? Whatever you want to put on this coin, you chop that up. The point you want to put on a coin, and you can put it in 10%, 20% increments. So a little bit 20% here, you know, 20% here, 20% here. It's just, if you pay sticker price on a heater, you have to be prepared for the downside. And a lot of new people, because I get a lot of messages, I get a lot of emails, and I even have homeboys that are like, you know, I understand, man. I have family members. I have friends who are new into it. I have friends, trust me, bought Bitcoin at 45, 46. And, you know, they hear the China news. I mean, imagine that. You just get into Bitcoin and then the China news hits. You know, it just, I can see it because, you know, before, sometimes I don't see that, right? Because, you know, I'm crocodile day in the jungle. I see a snake. I might not even see a snake because I've seen them so many times. It's like, it's obvious. And, you know, I just walk right by it. And a lot of people always notice that shit. So, you know, I'm starting to be more aware of that situation. And, you know, my intent is, you know, I really don't give a fuck what people think of what I say, but I do care a lot. But, you know, I don't want to, I hate to think of a, you know, some mom out there sad, some person out there worried. Yeah, I hate that shit. So it's just, you know, it's just a mindset that if you can learn, because there's going to be ups and there's going to be downs. And what you do if you're crazy, right? What's going to really hurt your life is if you're a nervous wreck when it's down and then you're on cloud 9 when it's up. Oh my God, can you imagine the energy swings and the mood swings and what that's going to do to your serotonin levels if you're just up or down and up, down and up. If you're just here, you know, you just have that center about you. I don't know how to explain it. I can't put it into words. When I put it into words, I describe it. When I close my head, I just think of like a ball rolling on a table and it hits the center. That's what I think every morning when I want to center my chi, whatever you want to call it. I'm not, I have a homeboy who's like a scientist at that stuff and he breaks it down really good for me. But I don't know, you know, that's just how I call it. I call it being centered. I'm never up, I'm never down, right? Yeah, of course I'll have, you know, it's kind of like tether. Every once in a while, there's going to be something in life that's going to cause a little bleep. But overall, you know, this is me, basically. Just, you know, every once in a while, there's going to be a little ups. It's rare for me to have the ups because I'm really good at, like, you know, staying the course. When people, you know, when No Limit Coin hit 50 cents, I didn't blink an eye. There was no ups, you know, and when it's down to 25, 22 cents, I don't blink an eye, right? It's all constant. And with a small new coin, a really new small coin, you're going to have a lot of ups. You're going to have a lot of downs. There's a lot of coins that, I mean, even the newer coins that have been doing good, there's always going to be ups. There's always going to be downs. I mean, you can look at Golem is just amazing. But I mean, look at this, right? Anybody could just, and yeah, we had this, I mean, I know people, somebody was like, message me and was like, hey man, there's some guy who's you know, he's putting he's putting his name in your mouth, or your name in his mouth. He's talking shit about you live on TV or live on YouTube. And I was like, I mean, I don't even give a fuck. It's like, I'm like a plane, and if it's slowing me down, it's going off. I don't care about that. I mean, it's funny because every time you're up, everyone thinks it's good. But look at this, man. Like, you know, all graphs do this with the smaller coins. And yeah, Golem has some nice volume, but you know, it's not. I mean, there's just, all coins do this. Look at Verge. Did the same thing with the crash all the way down, and then it peaked up. That's what coins do. But a lot of people don't understand that, so they want to call a pump and dump or whatever the fuck they want to call. I'm not with the fucking drama. I'm on business. You know, I didn't make the bank I made by fucking squabbling with every drunk motherfucker that wants to put my name in his mouth, because there's going to be a lot of them. And, you know, holla at you. I just feel the hate is love because the energy's one and it just absorbs into me. So all that energy you send in my way, it's just being absorbed and turned into fresh love so I can love people to death. And it's funny because I'm looking around, man. You know, I love these shit storms. I love when there's confusion because I can look around and I can see who's with me, who's the ones that got shaky and left, or maybe jumped ship, or maybe tried to stab me in the back, right? You know, we've had people quit midway. No hard feelings. I know they probably still listen to me, and I always end it good with everybody because I always believe in love. I don't hold grudges. The more you hate me, the more I love you. The more I dislike you, I dislike almost everybody. Don't get it wrong. I'm an asshole. I'm the first one to say it. But I love pretty much everybody. There's a few out there that I don't have, you know, I don't have space for. But most people, it takes a lot. And it's just like, man, with No Limit Coin, we're going through all this drama. The thing is, we had people quit halfway in the middle of it. Our UI guys that we hired, pros in Houston, they get hit by a hurricane. They're out with power. They're doing it on their laptops and like fucking storefronts and stuff, just trying to get whatever power they can, still working on the UI because they know how important it is. And it's just, the hater, and then of course the haters pile on. That's what happens. It's like, that's the sign, man, because when you're going down, that's when the haters love it. Because a hater, you know what it is? You know why they love to hate so much? Is because their life is so shitty that they want to see misery for others. They don't want to see anyone else succeed. They don't want to see anyone do good. They want to be able to talk to their friends like, oh yeah, that no limit coin went to shit. That thing went to nothing. They want to be able to say that, man. Why? Think deep down. What do they get out of the hate? At the end of the day, even if it went to zero and they were like, I told you so, do they get money for that? Is there any reason there's the energy for hate? Because you never heard me down a coin ever. You don't ever hear me put anyone else's name in my mouth. I don't got fucking time for that. I ain't gonna bless nobody by saying their name. You get my, you know, I'm not on that shit. I don't give a fuck. I'm not even hating on any other coins. I don't even hate on scams. I don't got the, you got many people that go over the news and go over scams. You can search it on YouTube. That's not this channel. I'm One Direction. I'm the Flash. I got one move, and that move is moving. That's it. I move. That's what I do. And now, it's just, I have all this energy. That's what happens. That's what happens with really good go-getters is, all the hate comes down and I'm absorbing that shit like a spirit bomb. You have no idea how energized I am. Man, I wanted to win. I put 110%. You best to believe I'm going to squeak another 10% in there. I'm going to claw, bite, chew, scratch. You think No Limit Coin's not going to hit $1 over my dead body? It's just, it makes me viciously lovely. It's hard to explain the feeling I have, but it's like a supercharged Energizer Bunny where he flies off the socket and the motherfucker grows wings and he can breathe fire because he's got all these new abilities because there's so much energy the body didn't know what to do with it. But you can think of it like this. Good coins when they go up and then when they start to go down, you can think of it like a trampoline. All the weight, all the hate presses down, all the hate. That's when all the people of the point, just like a trampoline, if you see my mouse, what's happening, right? And if this is a trampoline, that's pretty far down. The ground's almost touching, and then, and everybody flies off, except the one who was centered and in the middle. The people on the edges that were sharking, they get knocked off the trampoline. They can't handle it because they weren't in the center, right? Only in the center can you go down. On the edges, you can't, you know, if you've been on a trampoline, you can't go down on the edges. If you're not in the arena, it's easy to talk shit over here. When you can't sink, you can't go down on the edges, right? But in the middle of the trampoline, you can go real fucking far. And those who stand in the fucking middle of the trampoline, who can take this. You gotta understand, it's only one direction, always. This is just the harder you hate, the farther we go. And, we're so far ahead of schedule and now I'm about to go Rambo. It's like, I always love to believe that you can go as hard as you can, but that's a bitch ass lie because every single day you can look back and find something that you could have squeaked in. You found something you could have done a little better. And every day I'm starting to look at the tomorrows and I'm starting to think that if I live through tomorrow, what did I squeak out? What couldn't I have done? I'm starting to squeak out inches into the future that the inches haven't even come yet, but I'm already ready to grab them all. And then I look back on that day and I said I could have still squeaked more. And then I take that information and I go into the following day until it's like a precise time hourglass, and each individual grain of sand is something of value in my life, and it's all funneled into one greater, and then it just flips when it needs to, and I just keep going in one infinite flow. It's a really glorious time right now. I really like what I'm seeing with the core team. I'm seeing people who are sticking it out. You know, people who have doubts, that's wonderful, right? That, like I said, and if you go back and listen to my video, Road Signs, that's all doubts are, because if you're ever trying to achieve something great in life, you're always going to have doubts, right? Because if you're ever going higher or past something you've ever been, you're always going to have a doubt because you've never been that far. You don't know. There's question marks when you go that far. What happens if I do this? That means I'm leaving stable ground, because if you want to go higher, you have to jump. And if you have to jump, that means you have to leave stable ground. And then sometimes you just have to believe that your feet are going to land on higher ground, like a stair. And you just can't always see the stair before you make the jump. So it's kind of, that's where the doubt will come. But you just, you know, if you believe the stair is there and you understand how it works with the individual individual value creation, meaning every day you can create invisible value that may not be seen, right? The work you put in that you thought you did for free, or the work you put in for cheap, or the work you put in for a lot of money, whatever. The individual value, you don't understand everything, the connections you're making. These are individual, they're like, if you ever played EverQuest, old school game, fuck's sake. If you ever played EverQuest, probably none of you have, but there's these things, there's these invisible bridges, and God, what was that, fucking Karn's Castle or some fucking shit? Yeah, man, I played me some motherfucking EverQuest, and it's an invisible bridge, and that's kind of like what the value's doing. And you have to understand in life, you can't run too fast without planning your bridge, because then you're gonna fall off, right? So you have to understand it's an invisible bridge, and that you're creating it every day by value, and that each step could be your last, but it's not, as long as you keep creating that value and the bridge keeps going higher and higher to the road to success. So there's always going to be doubts. I wake up with doubts every single day. Always doubts. Are you kidding me? I fucking have doubts off the fucking ass. Of course, that's a beautiful thing. I look at those and I'm like, yes, I'm further today. If I wake up and there's no doubts, I didn't grow. I didn't go any further. So it's like a rest, you know, it's like a workout day then, right? Because you don't grow when you work out, you grow when you rest. So it's kind of like, okay, I'm not having my doubts today, aka I'm not sore today. That means I can go out and improve, right? I can lift weights, I can grow my life, right? And then I wake up the next day with the doubts because I did something that I'd never done before, and then it grows. Like when you're sore in your muscles, it's the same thing with your mind. When you do something that you've never done before, the next day you wake up with doubts because you're like, whoa, what did I fucking get myself into? Can I handle this? Do I even want to be successful? Do I even want all of this? Can I do, you know, it's like the farther you go, the higher you get, the more that can see you, the more that can pluck an arrow in your side. And a lot of people have a lot of great personalities, and I just want, you know, I just want to put out the mindset that I have, because I'm just a crazy motherfucker. That's all I can say. It's hard for me to put into words what it is. So I'm just trying to explain what I feel each day, and maybe somebody can fucking ring clear with them too, and they can be, you know, and then maybe somebody could post something in the comments, because I'm always learning from other people as well. So just the crypto market's going to be up and down, man. You got to understand, there's going to be people who are always trying to shit on crypto. There's going to be all kinds of FUD. There's going to be all kinds of haters. That's natural. That happens. It's impossible not to have haters. There's always going to be people who are too scared to take the leap, and the only kind of temporary band-aid for their pain of missing out is to hope that they didn't miss out, right? And that it crashes, and that they were secretly right all along. And that's why they try to subconsciously bring it down. I'm not going to get into the psychology of all of that right now, but it's a good thing to have haters, is all I'm saying, because they're recognizing you're doing what they didn't. And in a secret weird way, they're actually cheering for you when you hear that hate. So every time I hear the hate, it's like, you know, they're cheering. And, you know, right now, cryptocurrency as a whole, no limit coin, I'll bring it home with the football analogy, where, you know, we're still in the first quarter, but, you know, we're already down by, you know, 7 with what's happening with China and all the bullshit with the fork, right? But we're still well into the game. We really have a great chance. We have a good offensive line. We have a good running game. The only problem is it's cold and it's snowy and it's windy, and we're away from home, and the crowd's chanting. It's really loud, and sometimes it's hard to get communication. And it's a lot of things, a lot of moving parts, and it's really easy to mess up even when you have a really great team. So I'm definitely positive. I'm in it for the long haul. I don't recommend everybody doing what I do, right? This is my journey. I have different, like, I have friends, and, you know, I talk to them, they're like, well, you know, I only want to make this or that, and I'm good. I just want to be set for life. And I fucking totally respect that. Like, I don't get it twisted. Like, I respect the person who does them, other than somebody who's faking to do something else. So if you're fucking worried and scared and can't handle it, dude, and you admit that, and you say, I'm gonna go do something that plays to my strengths, which is something stability, something consistent, right? That's good, all good. I respect the hell out of you, man. Like, good, that's you, awesome, perfect. Like, do you, please. Like, I'm not, this is not an act. This is who I am. I've always been this way. Ask my mom. I've been a little fucking asshole since I was 5 years old. I'm very respectful, though. I never disrespect anybody in my life, but you know, this isn't some act that I'm doing. I don't want people just to think like, oh, I don't give a fuck, I'm going to go invest risky too. It's like, it may not be for you. Really ask yourself, because I'm trying to be the richest man in the world. Like, that's a weird goal. And when you say that, people will look at you weird, right? Because they think you're a fucking psycho, but it is what it is. So you're probably not on that game, right? Because that's a high risk game. You have to take some crazy risks to get there. So, just, come December, guys, look at the market. If you're holding in the market, you're going to be happy, in my opinion. And of course, I'm not giving any kind of advice at this point. I'm just strictly doing me. But you're going to see a lot of ups and a lot of downs. And I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin went back to 35. I wouldn't be surprised if it went back to 25. Like, I'm really not. I would not be surprised at all. And I wouldn't blink at all. And I also wouldn't be surprised if it went to 10,000, because this is like a crack. Like, this thing is so, anything can happen. A new country, a new law. Like, anybody who can say they can predict Bitcoin is out talking out their fucking ass, because you never know when a Chinese statement, well, China's like, we're regulating everything and everything's perfect. And, and Russia does. And then the United States and everybody's on board. Like, then we have, or it could be just the opposite, or halfway there. I mean, there's going to be a lot of black eyes, and it just stunts the progress. That's fine. But I think people are, even the weaker hands, and I hate using that term. I don't want to put anybody down like that, because it's like, dude, if you're a weak hand, but you're true to yourself, and you're like, I'm a motherfucking weak hand. I can draw like a motherfucker, though. It's like, I can play the cello like a beast. Then you cello playing motherfucker. You got strong hands with the cello, but you got weak hands with the Bitcoin. Dude, it's beautiful. Just be you, right? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. You're gonna love life a lot more if you are. Because I'm a grungy. I'm kind of sloppy when it comes to, I'm real fast. I don't really, I have people I need to help keep me neat and organized. Like, I understand that. I'm not trying to come out like I'm a neat, clean. I don't want people to think I'm dirty. I'm a clean motherfucker. I'm just grungy in my attitude and my perspective on life. That's all I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying that's a good thing like that. I don't know. I'd rather probably be like a neat freak, right? One of those OCD guys who do fucking code. Like, that's fucking gangster to me. Like, and of course, they probably look at me and it's like, oh, that's gangster to be grungy. And then I looking at him, I'm like, it's gangster to be a nerdy code guy. And you never know. That's what I'm saying. Like, do you, because it's beautiful, because you never know who's like looking at that. It's like, man, that's a badass life. And if you look at what you can do and what you're capable of, then you're like, you're gonna be like, man, this is badass. I'm a motherfucking G with the code, right? And I'm like, hell yeah, you are. Code me something and we'll make some money, So anyway, I just want to put that out there, man. Watch some old videos, watch some lure videos. I know I can be intense, and it's kind of like, we're going through the fucking jungle. Because see, that's the thing, man. When you've been in the jungle once and you go to another jungle, it's no big fucking deal, right? You've seen fucking snakes of all kinds. You've seen fucking warthogs and sloths and all kinds of monkeys and crazy things in the jungles. When you go to another jungle, it's not a big surprise. But when you go to the jungle for the first time, especially and I'm not saying that because I've been to the jungle. I lived in Costa Rica. I've been in the jungle. But anyway, and I've been with people who've been into the jungle, and I have not been into the jungle. That's why I paralleled this, because it's like I can actually put myself in your shoes. Because like I've been there kind of in a weird way where the guy was like going fast and going through trees, and I like cut myself and I'm wondering, am I going to get malaria? And the dude's looking at me like I'm a bitch. And he's like, I do this every motherfucking day. I do this motherfucking barefoot with a stick and a little twig in my mouth. And I'm like, you a motherfucking gangster. I need big old rain boots and I need a big old jacket, and I need eye protection. I don't want no fucking bugs crawling in my ears and eyes. Like, I understand. I'm there. I understand what it is. But guess what? My second, third, fourth time in the jungle, it's a little bit different. I understand. I see a snake or I see some, I don't get so fucking, I'm not wowed by the sloths, and I'm not, I'm not worried when I see a big ass tarantula that's bigger than my hand. And you just parallel that to life, man. It's just like, once you've been there in these rough environments, nothing really shakes you. And I understand that there's people who haven't been in that environment. So, just understand you're going to get used to it. And watching the scoreboard consistently, like, that's why I'm saying, like, people are so hell-bent on counting their net worth. It's like, man, I'm still in the game. As far as I'm concerned, I don't have much. Right, like Bitcoin hasn't proved, it's not there yet. Like, it's not, if you're a long-term holder, this is still, we're in the middle of the game. It's the first quarter. I'm not counting my money. I'm not saying, oh, I have this amount of Bitcoin, so I'm worth this. Like, I've never spent 1 minute of my day doing that. And I know that's probably another crazy thing, which I didn't know because I thought most people were like that, but apparently they're not. Yeah, I'm just so focused on playing the game. Like, we're not there yet, guys. And if you're looking to flip and do all that, hey man, do you, man. That's beautiful. Do you. That's not me. I don't got time. Like, I did that for a little bit in a weird sense. It's not like in a sense that most people do it, but you know, I created my own version of that to create money when I was lower, and that money was worth making at the time because I didn't have a lot of it. But the more you grow, the more you grow. I'm not on that tip anymore where it's about, you know, hey, and I'm not, you know, no disrespect, nothing like that. I'm not saying I'm on something else now. I'm definitely a long-term holder. So I'm not, I mean, I'm looking at Bitcoin, I'm looking at all these things, and people are counting their money. It's like, nah, man, like there's a long way to go. And guess what? We're playing the motherfucking Super Bowl. So if we win big. That's how I look at it. I'm looking for my ring. I'm looking for, you know, legendary status. I'm looking for all that. I want, you know, I want to win for Bitcoin. I want to win for the decentralized crypto. The governments are scrambling right now. They're not quite sure what to do. And every single day, Bitcoin gets a little bit more aware. You know, every day everyone does a little bit more Bitcoin. And, you know, I don't understand what happened. They have not, I'm not quite sure what's happening, but I think what's happening in the world right now has really slowed them down because I would really expect more of a smear campaign for Bitcoin, more of a fight, if you will, kind of like what China did. But now I'm reading that China's actually going to regulate it, which I already knew. But yeah, it's just interesting fight we're in. Just remember, we're in the first quarter. We got a long game to go. It's not very smart to look at, you know, constantly look at the clock and the scoreboard if you're only in the first quarter. So I'm gonna kill it here. Cheers, peace.